Should be red light.
All right, it being 5:30 p.m., this is the Tilton Northfield Fire Commissioners meeting for May 12th, 2026. We're in the Tilton Town Hall downstairs meeting room. Members present include the commissioners, the chief, the two deputy chiefs, Kathy, and Kevin Waldron from the Public and Building Committee, and Helen Hardenberg.
There you go.
Thank you for being here. First order of business is public comment. The only thing I wanted to bring up, and Kevin sent me a message about this about a week ago, is the flag down at the Park Street. Looks like it needs to be replaced.
Oh, and I know the flag at Center Street needs to be replaced, so we can get both.
Well, with Memorial Day coming up, it's probably good timing. So I drove by this morning and it was hanging straight down. You couldn't tell, but I drove by on the way here, and the wind was blowing just enough that you could tell that it was coming apart at the seams.
It'll be done. We'll try to order it tomorrow.
We
You might actually have
might
one.
have some,
We used to keep a spare or two. Wouldn't we?
yes. But if not, I will order.
All right, anything else at this time?
Is there
Or?
anything else?
No.
No?
No.
So I'm only here relative to Building Committee, what's happening, momentum.
Okay, and I think we have a little bit to discuss on that, so we'll get to that momentarily.
My other question is, what ambulance was down last week?
That was A1 was down. It has a hydraulic suspension in the rear. They're hydraulic leaf springs, basically. One of them ruptured and the other one was leaking, so we got both of them replaced. They came down to the station. They found a puddle of hydraulic fluid. We got it right up to Lakes Region Fire Apparatus. They got it in and out in 2.5 days.
Same one that's been giving us trouble?
Yep, the older one. I actually had a discussion with Kevin from the DPW in Tilton, and I was like, "It's only 9 years old." He's like, "Those things, it's 9 years old." He's like, "That's when things break, and it's an old truck, and you've used it." And
Are we still thinking it's a great idea to keep it? How much have we spent on that thing relative to its value since we've owned it?
I'd have to.
Seems like we've been doing repairs on it.
I mean, you spent at least $3,000 on it 2 months in a row.
Mm-hmm.
How many miles on that truck?
117 or 19 or something like that. It might be a little. Actually, it might be a little more than that now. It might be in the 120s now.
That's not an issue.
No.
It might be worth looking at. It's got some value now. It's not every day it's going to have less and less.
My hope, I think I've talked to you guys about this, it's not going to run first or second due. It's going to be there as a reserve piece for when another ambulance is out. We've purchased quite a bit of equipment to make it work and keep it that way, between the stretcher and the stretcher we needed anyway, but the monitor and all the other equipment that goes on that ambulance, to keep it as a reserve piece. I think it's going to be nice to have a second, like we would have had a second ambulance on Friday.
Wouldn't it be nice to have a newer one for backup use, one that hasn't robbed us to death?
Can you, for
We used
next...
to have new everything, but
No, I'm saying,
well, I live in.
here's my concern.
Yeah.
You're gonna end up with a 9, 10, 11, 12-year-old vehicle. Because if you leave the diesel exhaust fluid system on it, you're gonna spend more than a damn thing worth. We went down that road in Northfield with a truck. I tried like hell to get rid of it, but no one would. It finally got down to where it would cost exactly what it was worth to fix it. And then I was no longer something to fix it.
Can for next meeting, can we get like maybe a review of how much money we've spent on that in the
Yeah.
last year, or maybe the last 2 years? And how many miles we put on in each of those 2 years?
Yeah, it was even coming, right?
I saw it today. That's good. That's in my report, and I'll talk about that. I actually touched it today.
That's the money is,
Already set
it's
aside.
all done. And you have enough now. I'm gonna buy a ton a little bit and say buy another one.
Well, we know how long it takes, right?
Well, yeah,
Well,
but
that,
I saw a report last week that it's not taking as long as,
well, we were on the fence at having a discussion about ordering at this past district meeting, and we pulled back because of the lead time and.
I'm wondering if it might be plausible to keep A2, it's A2 that's the newest one, right?
The newest one now, yeah, until the new one
Keep
comes.
A2 for the backup, you got one coming. And then,
Well, I think we've discussed it briefly and probably will as the months go on here about putting it in the budget or putting it on the warrant for this coming year to place the order for it.
27.
Which would still put it. I was there today, and again, when I spoke to the salesman today, I said early 2030 is what I was thinking for delivery, and he said you need to get it ordered by the end of spring of 27 if you want it for 2030. That's I was at the Horton factory. We do have a committee looking at other ambulances, other manufacturers, but unfortunately, I think we're hearing the same thing by most of the ambulances that we would look for. So.
All right, anything else? Right, I want to skip the correspondence because I think that's related to the building committee.
Yes.
Correct.
And
That
do
is
the
correct.
chief's report first.
Huh?
Is that okay with you guys?
Yeah. Oh, chief's report, you guys have it in your packet, I sent that out. The operating budget, we're, for like salary line, legal line, the insurance lines, we're doing quite well. At total budget, we're at 29.7%, and we're about 33% through the year. I apologize for the dates I sent out in the last one. These ones are correct. What lines I'm looking at, or I think everybody's looking at, is gas and diesel. We cut, I think it was $4,000 from our gas and diesel line from last year to this year, so that's definitely a line we're going to have to look at and keep track of. The other line I'm looking at is heating fuel. We're already over 100% at Park Street. We have spent our budget. We're at 111% or 110% or something like that at Park Street. It was a cold winter. Gas prices are up. I still think those are, that's why the building line's so high, basically because of the heat. I think we're going to be fine. I don't feel, as of right now, you never know, knock on wood, anything can happen, but I still think we're going to be okay. Apparatus and equipment fund, a lot of that stuff, they come in big chunks, so that's why the percentages seem pretty low, especially with a lot of our service testing and stuff that in the equipment repairs, that usually happens late in the year, like our flow testing for our CBAs, that all happens in December, and our PMs for all our trucks happen in September. And so the PMs and the pump testing and the certifications for the latter are big chunks of that budget, and those all happen in September. Ambulance revenue was a little down in April, but it was up in January and February. Again, this is my first year tracking it, so we're still ahead of last year, but it's one thing we always keep track of. Our incident responses are back up. We're still not getting slammed, but we're back to a normal pace. Again, I don't know why we were so slow in February, March, but I guess it's good when people aren't calling 911. Mutual aid's about average, in and out, 13 and 8. Still can't run that overlapping call report. The nearest data is better. I've been able to kind of see a heat map. The problem is it's all the same color, so it just gets bogged down with the same color. I have an in-class meeting with nearest down at the New Hampshire Fire Academy on, I think it's June 4th. Hopefully I will get some more information about the nearest. But talking to the state, so remember nearest is the national reporting, and New Hampshire ESR is the state reporting. The state pays for our reporting software. The state's kind of writing off data for this year. They say it's going to be a tough year. We're going to be able to go back, but for the first year, they feel like nearest was rushed out because of the FEMA cuts in the funding from FEMA. They rushed it out. They didn't have the time, so they're kind of, we're getting some data, but they're good, great data we thought we were going to get from nearest. They're wondering if this is just kind of going to be a lost year for now, and we're just going to keep track of it and see how that works. But we're getting okay stuff. We can still track our transports. We can still track our districts. We can still track our calls and how much where we're going. So you can see the historical data there. We didn't use any firefighting water supply this month. Fire prevention, I'll let Deputy Stetson talk about fire prevention.
So you can see the report is attached, 50 inspections, I think that's pretty on par. The town of Tilton has taken over electrical meter socket inspections. So Northfield had done that about a year ago. And
Planning board?
Upstairs.
Upstairs, thank you.
Northfield, we did that with Northfield about a year ago. They, the building inspector does the electric meter socket inspections, and so now we've transitioned that to this office here in Tilton as well. So that was the only thing electrical that we did. The building inspectors do everything from the meter in, so it only made sense. We didn't charge for that. There was no revenue there lost, so it just makes things more efficient and makes sense and frees up a little bit of time for us. Not listed here, but David, our part-time fire prevention officer, he's back from his winter hiatus, and so his hours have increased per the budget. So we figured that out. He's working 3 7-hour days, I think. So so that's going to help a lot with doing the things that have been on the agenda for getting back into the multifamilies to do life safety inspections regularly. I attended a 3-hour class in Conway that the New Hampshire Fire Marshal's Office put on regarding that, and so I got to do my homework before we just start doing them, because there's some legal proper procedures for getting consent and going into different dwellings, and the apartment owner can't just give you permission to go into the apartment units and things like that. So, but David will, having him working more hours is going to help for us to be able to do that, as well as more life safety inspections for expanding what we already do in some of the businesses. Any big projects? I don't think in the last month you've done plans review.
I did a plan review for Irving. Remember we had that meeting?
Irving.
So Irving,
Yeah.
the whole corner of Irving, Sanborn Road, and they have that mobile property, and actually it goes right before the hill goes up to the cemetery. That's going to be they're going to be a new drive-in, drive-out for trucks coming off the highway. The building is going to get torn down and pushed back. The canopy basically, it's going to get torn down, but it's going to be spun, and it's going to be much more pumps that way. So it's going to be a much bigger, but hopefully better flow path.
Yeah.
And then
There's a revised plan for Business Park Drive, one that had already been done, but they came forward with a revision. So another property is going to be starting construction up there. Foundation Drive, which is New Franklin Apartments, used to be 3 West Main Street. They're converting. They have a maintenance garage in the back that's going to be 3 units. They're going to strip it down, essentially gut it, and convert it to 3 more additional units. And then they've talked of adding in the back. They've actually got some acreage back there that you wouldn't maybe think of as having space, but there's quite a bit of land down towards the river. But that's just kind of in the pipeline. I think that's about it as far as that goes.
So the Irving plant then will totally disrupt operations there during the
yes,
process?
yeah, they're going to shut down, do it over, and then it'll be like, I'm sure it'll be quick. If you remember when Evans got done over, they're quick. Those guys, I'm sure it's Mike is going to come. I swear Mike he did all the gas stations in Tilton. Mike, he's a guy from Connecticut. He comes in and he just builds gas stations. And they know what they're doing. They go quick. They don't want to be down long. So I would expect a couple months, 3 to 4 months. And then they'll be back up and running. Never know. It could be longer, but that's what I would expect.
When are they going to start?
They didn't give a start date.
I think they cut into the summer tourist season.
Yeah.
Seemed like one of the biggest holdup was DOT approval.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Commercial curb cuts and all that crazy stuff.
Yep.
You guys good on fire prevention?
You started swiftwater training today, didn't you?
Oh yeah.
Oh, good. Okay.
You want to give? Yeah. Do you want to give a training report? I guess.
Sure. Yep. Where are we? Okay. I'll let you talk about your personnel things you have listed, but the as far as training, yeah, Swiftwater. The one that is going on this week is the annual kind of skills refresher for the existing techs, and then we have another class that we're hosting with neighboring departments that's gonna be in the beginning of June. So we have 5 people, who are gonna be attending that, so sort of 2 different things, but this week's was the annual, keeping up with skills for the existing Swiftwater techs, and then in a month we'll have, 5 more, which will bring everybody, all the full-time staff on the floor, I think, everybody.
No, I'm not.
No,
Probably-
but the on shift, will all be Swiftwater technicians. Water's the issue, we try to host it here, but we're at the mercy of the river and the weather. So Cross Mill Road is like our favorite spot if the water flows are ideal, which right now it's low. So they have to go to New Hampton or Coolidge Woods to get sort of the better conditions that they can train in.
Probably one of the most dangerous, if not the most dangerous thing we do. I think it's more dangerous than going into a burning building. It's more dangerous than doing a tech rescue. Maybe not a high angle, but it's really, but it's something we actually do. It's not something we train for and never do. We do enough Swiftwater here and enough rescues that having everybody staffed. That'll be the first time in my career here that everybody on the floor is trained to the Swiftwater technician level, and that's amazing because it's. We've had a member go over the dam, one of the full-time firefighters. We've had plenty of rescues. I'm sure over your career we could keep talking about rescues, and it's probably again one of the most dangerous things to do. And having everybody on the floor certified is awesome.
Water is pretty unforgiving. There's no, and it doesn't have to be swift. You just have a lot of water around there,
Well, the definition of Swiftwater is anything moving half a mile an hour or more.
Yeah.
It's deceiving.
And the muck underneath it, pulls you in.
So for apparatus this month, I don't know if you want me to talk about A3. I had it on the agenda. I could talk about A3 now or on the agenda. Now it's fine. All right. So myself and Captain Gilman went down to inspect it today. We met with the salesman. We met with I don't know what his title is, but the person who's fabricating anything at the dealership. It's already there. It's built. It looks just like our other ambulance. They're going to have it probably for another month, maybe a little quicker, but it's first in, first out, right? So we're kind of in line with. There's ambulances everywhere down there. They're just stacked. They have vehicles stacked. The only piece of equipment they're waiting on is our Zyco step. For some reason, didn't get delivered with it. They have to install and fabricate a way to get that Zyco step. It's a side step that when you open the door, the step comes down to get back up into the ambulance. It's really for the patients. I think the guys could get in there, but getting a patient in that's walking, they really need that Zyco step. And they have to do a few other. They have to change the pattern of the emergency lights and get some other stuff done. But that should be done within the next 3 to 4 weeks. We've already ordered the radio, the repeater, and I got to order the cradle point this week. OME is already scheduled. They know they have us on their docket. As soon as it's up here, they're going to take it. They want to get it done. They want to get it in service. So they have the radios up in Ossipee right now, or it's a Multnomah, I guess. But they've already been programmed. They're all ready to go. And so as soon as we get that, those radios will be installed. So I would expect them to have that hopefully not, but I'm going to plan on 2 weeks. So I'm still looking at 4th of July weekend to get that ambulance in service. As we talked about before, that ambulance will be ambulance 1. The reserve ambulance will switch to ambulance 3. We're still going to run A1 and engine 1 together, A2 and ambulance 2
The
together.
odd even months and
Yep,
all that stuff.
exactly. I'll probably run the new ambulance for 3 months straight just to work out any kinks and make sure, because we want to get it back to the factory if there is any problems. So run that 3 months straight, make sure we work any bugs out of it. I don't expect there to be. That gasoline engine was pretty neat. We'll see how that goes. I talked to the salesman. He said they've had very good luck. They haven't had any complaints. We did ask, has anybody ordered an old one and then gone back to a diesel? He said not yet. He hasn't had that happen yet. So we'll see how that gasoline engine works. There's a little sign on it that says gasoline. I think I'm going to put a big one on it so nobody puts any diesel in it, and vice versa. But
Generally, the filter is smaller.
Yes.
Get the nozzle in.
the problem is on the at Irving here and Irving over there, the diesel one is smaller too, because the big truck pumps, they pump too fast for our tubes and they tend to overflow. So the guys like using those ones. So it was nice seeing the ambulance. So hopefully 4th of July weekend, if I can get it done sooner, we're going to have it in service as soon as we can. So that's the goal. on that. You did sign in the manifest, that check, those funds were already encumbered. I just wanted to put that on there just so you guys see that check, and it's a large check. We're not gonna, the day I pick it up, I'm gonna give them that, they're gonna give me the ambulance. So we're not gonna issue that check until, the ambulance is done. I talked to them.
How long do they warranty it? Anything?
Honestly, Paul, I don't have the spec in front of me. I want to say it's just like 1 year, but I think the box is warranted, like for the paint and stuff. But like, it's not a long warranty.
It's not.
I could look that up. I will get that.
Obviously, Ford has the regular.
Yeah, it's
chassis warranty.
yeah. I will definitely have that for you though. Okay. Both ambulances were changed to their summer tires this month. I waited a lot longer this year. I don't know if you remember, we had no damage done, but we changed them right at Easter last year. We had one more snowstorm. We actually got in, I won't call it an accident because there was nothing hit, but we went off the road and had to have the ambulance kind of pulled back up onto the road because it had the summer tires on it. So we waited a lot longer this year to put the summer tires back on. Ambulance committee is continuing to look at trucks. I've asked them to have a report for me midsummer. I'm hoping to have numbers from ambulance manufacturers by Labor Day, maybe a little bit later. We'll see how that goes. I know that they've been out looking at them. That's it really for apparatus right now. For personnel, Josiah Ide is our new pediatric emergency care coordinator. It's a new position for us. He doesn't get any more money. It just is, everybody in the fire department has an ancillary duty. This will be Josiah's ancillary duty. And it's something that's been pushed by the state and actually nationally. He was actually just doing some stuff today. It's one of those calls that a pediatric call is like it's a low frequency, high risk, right? We don't see pediatrics much. We need to be prepared for it. And the people from the state have been very helpful in getting them. It's more about checklists, making sure we have the proper equipment, make sure we have the proper training. So I'm excited. Josiah is really excited about it. So I think it's going to be great for the department to have that position as an ancillary duty. Cancer screenings are underway for the full-time staff. I think most of them have been done. This is paid for by the state. It was funded by the state for all full-time and retired full-time firefighters. We actually have members here who are finding things. This is why we do it. There's a blood test that put on by Dana-Farber that is a huge blood panel, all different types of cancers. And then they do a full CT of your whole chest cavity and up down to your waist. And then they do a full ultrasound with an echocardiogram to find anything. It takes about 35 to 45 minutes. They have them down at the Fire Academy. There's a big chunk of them now. There'll be another big chunk of them in the fall. One thing I'm trying to push, I know Mark Foley, who's the director of the Fire Academy, is pushing extremely hard. I've talked to the deputy about it. If you guys if you know any legislators, if you know any of your state senators, please ask them to extend these funds to call members. Our call members are volunteers. They're in the fires. These guys are in more fires than I've ever been. And they could have cancers from this too. And we want to make sure these opportunities are extended to the call and volunteer side. If we can't get that legislatively done, you'll probably see me in a year or two ask for that through here. But we want to, if we can get it done through the state, that's the way to go. So if you guys know anybody, start pushing that way for me. On the call side, both deputies have been working on the lieutenant's process. We're going to hold it the opposite year of the captains, and we're going to hold it going forward. We have a captain's process every 2 years, where now we're going to have a lieutenant's process. So lieutenants are call members, and the lieutenant's process is going to be every other year. And the reason this came up is we had a lieutenant out on medical leave. He's hopefully coming back soon, but for 8 months. So we didn't have that lieutenant's place filled. If we have this lieutenant's list, just like the captains, if I have a captain out for a long period of time, the top two people on that captain's list can move up into that slot and act as that captain, and then we fill firefighter overtime. It would work the same way in the call department. If we had a lieutenant out, even if they went on vacation for 2 months, if somebody snowbirded, we could have somebody move up into that position until they came back, and they'd move back down. And then if that person retires and we need a new lieutenant, we'd already have that list. So we're going to plan to do that process every 2 years. It's going to be very similar to the captain's process, probably slimmed down a little bit, but both deputies have been working on that. So,
And one more thing that's not on here. We have a new call member who I think we had told you was in process. Kathy got word that he's through background, criminal driving, all that. So we still have a process to bring him on and train him and get him started. But he's cleared all those hurdles, so we have a new call member joining.
I was at the Teen CERT. CERT is the Community Emergency Response Team. They have a teenage one for high school students. He was actually in it, so I got to work with him at that Teen CERT day on Thursday over at the Guilford Training Building. So it was neat to see him. Good kid, worked hard. So I'm excited for him. I think we're having we got another application this afternoon.
Oh, really good.
I don't even know if you know about it.
No.
Yeah.
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 All right. We're playing off. You said the pediatric care, but I remember you had a message about the car seat techs.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a fading thing? Because we used to do events, right? We used to host events up on Park Street and do big to do. I mean, is there a call for that still, or I mean, how did that all? There was a sponsor that provided seats.
So I was a car seat tech years ago.
Right.
I'm not.
There was several.
Yeah. It was myself, Tim Ames, and Janine. It was the three of us were the car seat techs. That's how long
I
ago.
remember the Janine Very.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Janine
So it was a huge push by Dartmouth. Dartmouth really spearheaded it for the
Yep.
state, and they have a grant, and that position was paid for by a grant.
Yep.
The person at Dartmouth, and it was really a huge push. Car seats were very complicated. Car seats are still complicated, but they're a lot easier than they used to be.
Right.
There isn't the call for it. There's still a demand. I mean, how many car seats? Do you know how many she's done? I mean, she's only been a tech for a month and a half.
She's done two,
Two?
I know of.
Yeah, I feel like was there a big.
And there was a third one, but the party that was going to have it done had to cancel,
Mhm.
so.
So I think there's a small call for it in the community, and having Rose as a call member
Yeah.
being able to do it
It's good
has been
that
awesome.
we can still support it.
She actually secured funds, or she got the two car seats that
Well, they arrived today.
they arrived today. So
Yeah.
through a state program,
Yeah. She got a grant, so we have to. If somebody needs a car seat and can't
Yeah.
afford one, we can donate.
and as she uses them, she can replenish them. She has to show that she's installed them, and then she can get more.
One thing, Josiah, on the pediatric care coordinator, one thing he's already identified is and we got to figure this out. The ACR restraints. That's what we use to put like a baby on the stretcher. Were recalled, and we didn't know it, and so they're not really great. So we got to figure something out. How we're securing a. If it's a birth, we have these cool wraps that the mother is strapped in, and then we basically wrap it around the baby. But once they're a patient, you can't do that.
Yeah.
And this goes in the pediatrics goes to about puberty, so about 12 years old. So you got to think about anybody 12 years old and younger is who he's handling. Other stuff. One thing I didn't put on here is I just want to remind you guys I'm meeting with both boards of selectmen quarterly. I met with Northfield selectmen last month. Last week. Next week I'm meeting with the Tilton selectmen. So that went well. We just answered some questions and went over kind of what we're going over today in a much smaller scale. The RFP is posted. I put it on New Hampshire Municipal Association. I've emailed it to I think 6 firms now. I've gotten replies from some of them. Just questions more than anything else so far. Questions are due the 21st, so we'll see. Kathy and Comstar have been working diligently to update me to the Medicare and Medicaid contact. That's been a lot of work because you can imagine anything with Medicare and Medicaid, making sure we get billed right. And then next week is EMS week. I'll be highlighting some calls and training, just some bullet points, but I'm going to be, that's the call where we had the double sequential defibrillation. That's going to be the last one. So that call, we're going to post that on Facebook and show everybody the letter from the hospital and explain what happened on that call. So I'm starting off, I have most of it, it's just going to be little things, but I'm starting off with how many people we bring to the hospital one day, and then next day talk about our equipment, next day talk about our training, next day talk about something else, and the last day probably talk about AEDs and talk about the market basket call a little bit, and then the last day talk about the call that our staff did, that double sequential. So all 5 days we're going to try to have an informational thing out there for EMS week. But that was a good time to do that. And that is my chief's report. If you have any questions.
You looking for?
Planning?
Yes.
Upstairs.
Right. Anything else on that? Got a note on here about the emergency lights not working in the tanker.
So it's been an intermittent issue, and I don't think you've seen it, right?
I haven't seen it.
He hasn't seen it. I haven't seen it. We've actually brought it to Lakes Region Fire Apparatus. They couldn't replicate it. I believe it's happening because I'm getting it from more than one person. So I don't know if it's a bad power. They couldn't figure it out at Lakes Region Fire Apparatus. We don't know if it's a bad power supply. We don't know if it's a bad relay. I was talking to the deputy. We were just spitballing ideas. This truck's going to be around probably for 10 more years. Those lights are ancient. So probably in the budget for next year, I'm going to request to replace that the top emergency light rack. We're going to have that for 10 more years. We might as well upgrade it. It'll actually be much less draw on the batteries, and those are old. Are those halogen? Those
Yep.
things, yeah.
Yep.
Those are those old halogen lights. They're very, very old
And that
technology.
That vehicle's 20 years old.
Probably actually that'll reduce the height of the truck.
Yes,
Yeah.
it'll definitely reduce the height of the truck.
Yeah.
So, might be able to fit it in Center Street then.
Yeah.
Can't right now.
Any other questions?
Not yet.
All right, let's go to building committee, and that brings us to some correspondence. I don't know if you got that right there.
Oh, here, sorry.
Or not.
I meant to hand it out earlier.
So the chief mentioned
Just one
we've got the RFP out there, it's posted on the website, sent it out to a few firms. I think you sent it out again today to somebody.
No, that was just one of the firms. I thought that, I should have just put that in the packet. I didn't, that was just sending them they were showing us their, what do they call it, their qualifications, basically.
2 pages or 3?
There's 3. There's one packet for each of you. Well, there's 3
One's
emails.
minutes, I'm sorry.
Yep. Okay.
All right. So, I don't know if you want to speak to this, or you want me to?
I can if you want. I
Yeah,
just,
go ahead.
we put out a Facebook post and we put it on the website asking for individuals to join our building committee. And these are the 3 responses we got. I emailed them out to you. And then we got one from Helen also, but that was
Previously.
in the month before. So I'm sorry, yeah. So we have 4 interested parties. I believe 2 are from Northfield and 2 are from Tilton, and that's.
Exactly what we need.
If you notice, one of them only had availability 2 nights, Mondays and Fridays.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
So I think the next step on this will be, well, 2-phase. When overview of the next steps in the RFP process, and then I want to, while I have that fresh in my mind, I want to talk about scheduling them or sending out an email to all these members. Did we hear from Dennis?
I texted him again today, and he hasn't texted me back. So,
Okay.
oh,
and then-
hold on. You just got it. He declines. There's a long email. There's a long text. I'll forward this to you guys later on. There's more explanation, but he declines.
Okay, so we know that the questions are due by the 21st. The RFPs responses are due.
The 9th. I can hold on.
What I would like to do is send out a email to all the members asking them what nights of the week work best and what times work best. If you can do 5:30, 6 o'clock on a Monday, or whatever. And then schedule something for, schedule the first meeting here, um, as soon as we can after the 19th. 21st, after the 21st. That's what I think.
All right, yeah, so the proposal is due June 9th, interviews are June 11th through the 17th, anticipated award is June 8th.
I'm glad we heard back from Dennis. Fortunate about the response. I don't know, but Helen, while you're here, what's the best night of the week for you? For another meeting?
Well, on a regular basis is probably Mondays, but for Wednesdays, can't do Wednesdays the second Wednesday of the month.
Yeah, we had been meeting on Mondays, right, Kevin? Mondays?
Yes,
Mhm.
you were meeting on Mondays.
Right. And there was, and somebody had a conflict, so we had to pick the correct Mondays. We were doing the
Most of
second
my
and fourth
Mondays are free.
Mondays.
That doesn't mean all of them are free, but then right now it's.
Right. And Kevin, Mondays were good for you?
I do whatever I want. But, I mean, you've made no appointments to this committee.
Oh,
So
but-
you-
well,
So you've lost Dennis,
yeah,
you lost Paul,
yeah.
you lost me,
We lost Lisa.
you lost Lisa. You don't have a quorum.
Right.
Do you, how do you meet without a quorum?
Well, we're going to appoint these folks after we review this.
Is that your intent? You're gonna make some appointments?
That's my intention.
You're
and
making
then-
appointments based on, hey, this person's interested, so welcome aboard? Or what?
That's based on the volume of respondents. Yes, that was my take.
Oh, ye of little faith.
I mean, one of them's a contractor. One of them's a business owner here in town.
I'm not
Yep.
trying to lead you down any road, I'm just trying to understand
Yeah.
what's going on in your heads, because you have decisions to make.
So, yeah. So that's my thinking. We know that we have these dates coming up. We'd like to get the building committee back involved. We've got these members who have offered to be on the committee. And so next I want you to, I don't know if you want to go into a lot of detail. I don't know that you gave them everything there.
That's what they,
You did summarize, okay.
that's what they sent us.
That's what they said, yeah.
That's exactly what they sent.
Sorry, may reconsider.
Except for Sabrina and them.
I think we
Right.
will, because,
You-
now we can free from Tilton because
Oh.
Dennis is.
Okay.
What's the business she has?
She said hairdresser.
Sabrina's Creative Cuts, I believe
Yes.
is the name.
Yes.
Is she in Northville?
She used to
Nope.
be. She used to be at Roland's.
That's the one, okay, I know
Yeah,
she is.
she's, I believe she's at 630 West Main now, which
Yeah,
is
now,
Smitty's.
I
yeah,
know she is.
But she lives in Tilton.
yes.
Yeah.
She came to one of our meetings one night. She was available a couple of years ago.
Do you anybody know this gentleman?
Is that the band who played Jay Perks that we see all over the place?
Yep, there's two Jay Perks.
Yeah.
There's Josh Perks and Jeremy Perks. They're brothers.
Yeah,
This is Jeremy.
yeah. See a lot of the plow trucks. And I just,
He's the one I used to sand the parking lot at
Yeah.
Park Street
Yeah.
when we didn't have anybody before.
He was a co-member for a
Yes.
while.
I know we all know Scott.
heard the name.
And we know Helen. So what is the process for appointing them?
I don't
We just
Truly, I think you
Do we have
just,
to
make a motion and.
You make a
I think you're-
motion
yeah.
and second it and vote on it and let them know, we'll let them know.
Because this isn't moderator appointed, right?
No,
Because the
this
budget
is-
committee was moderator appointed.
that's correct.
Yeah.
This is your appointments.
I guess. My feeling is, do you guys know all of them? You know
I
anyone?
haven't heard any names. You guys got it in front of you, you're not sharing it.
So we have Scott Hilliard, town of Tilton.
actually, he's a resident of
He's a
Northfield.
resident of Northfield. Jeremy Perkins,
You know, Phil?
He's in Tilton.
he's Tilton. Sabrina
McPhail.
McPhail,
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 She's in Tilton.
Tilton,
and then,
North
And
Tilton.
so 2 Tilton, 2 Northfield. So we're still short technically one
One in Tilton.
in Tilton.
I'll get an email address.
Sure.
Okay. We have a member that may, we have a resident that may, if we need somebody.
Is the department personnel staying the same?
Sure. Oh,
I mean, I talked to Matt, I believe Matt and Derek, reluctantly.
I don't know any of them, so.
I was just curious if you did. I know Kevin, you know a couple of them. At least one of them.
The only one who I wouldn't know if they were standing in this room is Sabrina. But I know her husband. If the department representation is gonna stay the same, what can be done to improve attendance?
That problem may have already been taken care of. But let me do some investigative work for you.
That's the best move here tonight. I mean, 'cause you gotta have the involvement to, so somebody's not always trying to catch up.
Yeah.
Right, right. And we'll be doing catch-up because we'll have a lot of new people on the committee.
Well, you won't technically be doing catch-up in the sense you're starting fresh, so. And you have some basis there, but
Right. All right, so any objection to any of these folks? All right, somebody want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion. We accept all four.
Okay. Second. All right, we have a motion made and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. I'll get with it.
Congratulations.
I'm
Figured
not
what
sure.
Kathy and I to send out notifications.
Yeah, I'll get you with you.
Can't
to
wait, I can go sit out there and
work
watch.
on, yeah, what that be most
Trade
safe.
spots with you.
Okay.
And, yeah, and then you can follow up and let us know as soon as you hear anything. That would be nice to have a full committee.
What is it, three from each town?
Yes.
3 from each town,
2 for the
chief,
department,
commissioner, and 2 firefighters, 1 call and 1 career.
But Tim, are you considered as the ex officio voting, but are you representing one of the towns, or you just happen to be
I'm
the
a
commissioner's
commissioner's rep.
delegate? Yeah, so is it more than 6? I think it's more than 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's 9.
Yeah.
And then me, 9 plus me, I'm advisory only, I do not have a vote.
No,
Mine is big.
3 and 3 is 6,
7,
plus 1,
And then plus the 2
plus
firefighters.
2 firefighters, yeah. Wow.
All right, so look for an email in the coming days. Okay. So, and you've gotten some questions on the RFPs?
I got non-official questions. I had a phone call with Lorero Construction for about 45 minutes, asking a lot of questions, and there was a lot of times I just had to say, you should submit an official question to the commissioners. You should, and so I would expect some to be happy. You know, I think they were kind of from the conversation I had with them. They're usually a design build. We're this is a construction management, so I believe they intend to bid and submit. So I think you'll see some official questions, but I don't know. Haven't seen them yet.
It's another week and a half.
Mm-hmm.
Did you pick certain contractors to send that to?
So I spoke with the city manager in Laconia, and I spoke with Stephanie over at Northfield, and I said, how do you normally send out these RFPs? They say they post them on the website, post them, and then post them somewhere else. I posted in the New Hampshire Municipal Association, and then I sent them out to 7 different contractors that we have either done business with as that have done work for the department, or that we've done work for through as fire prevention. I tried to get out as many as I could. I'll send it out to more if you know of any more.
That's solicitation. It should be put out to the public to find out. And if you
Absolutely
If you-
not.
No, that's not how an RFP would go.
Absolutely not.
You can run an ad, a one-day ad in the paper, and that doesn't get you much, but that counts legally. You can run, a lot of RFPs just go right in the paper. Well, who reads all the places and all the states read all the papers? Yeah, that's it. That covers you. That's putting it in the public. The extra step to put it to other firms, that's fair. But the New Hampshire Municipal Association, our website's public. That's a public website. It's not an insider trading at all. How is it solicitation?
if you're sending it to someone you would pick,
Not necessarily, you're sending it to somebody you know of.
I
Yeah.
would think if you did it to a single organization, I would agree with you, but you said 7.
I believe 7.
Yeah.
And I don't know who I don't know who any of them are because I haven't seen your list, so I don't know. And I think the the hiring comes from us. So it's not, hey, chief, go send it out to my friends. I don't know who any are yet. We're going to find out when questions come back and proposals come across our table.
There's no way of knowing who might have found, saw it, went out on the website, pulled the RFP, and we don't even know that they have it.
Yeah.
All right, anything else? All right, new business. Quite a few things here that you've been sending out over the last couple of weeks. So, FFR agreement?
So FFR agreement. So FFR is our collections company. What happened is Comstar got guidance from their legal team to immediately stop sharing information with a collection company that does not have a direct associate agreement with one of their departments. So FFR and Comstar have an agreement together. They have a written agreement just like this one. We have a business agreement that was like basically a handshake with FFR from years ago. We don't have this business associate agreement. So Comstar will no longer send any information. This all has to do with HIPAA. This is all release of information and who can they release the information to. And so their legal team said because of HIPAA, they can't have the business associate agreement with FFR. We do. It sounds like a lot of we just need to get this agreement signed. I read it over. There's nothing that I see that is anything that would make me of concern. However, I did send it to our legal team. The minute I got it, I said, could you please have it by May 12th? I did not get the review back in time. So this is just to release the collections. At the time of the phone call last week, we had just over 30 claims pending because of this. I'm sure there's a few more claims pending now. I can call Comstar and give them verbal agreement to send that to FFR. So I think if you would like me to do that, I can give them verbal agreement to send those 30 so-odd claims out while we wait for our legal to sign, to review this and give us their opinion on it. and then if you would allow me to sign it once that legal review comes back, or you want me to wait till next meeting. That's kind of the guidance I'm waiting for from you. But it's there's really no change that we're doing. It's just making sure we're compliant with HIPAA.
What did Primex say?
I haven't sent it to Primex. That's in more of an insurance review. That's I can send it to Primex though.
I don't know, do we wait till we hear back from the attorney?
Yep, I would.
I wouldn't sign it without waiting,
Yeah.
you know. But you want me to go ahead and give them permission to do the claims, the 30 or so. Do you want to just wait?
Why wouldn't you do the claims? I mean, that's not gonna affect anything.
I don't really have good guidance one way or the other on that. When I talk to Comstar, it's the way we've been doing it for, I think it's, how long have we been with FFR? For almost 10, I don't know.
Oh, it's been,
Yeah, 9 or 10 years, correct?
it's been longer than that.
Yeah. So it's the same company we've been doing business with for 9 or 10 years. This is just an updated legal opinion. So I don't think I'd be afraid, but I'm not a lawyer, so I can't give you the 100% guarantee.
I think I'd be inclined to wait.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, we're just trying to go after money we haven't been getting anyway from the collection side of it. So, collection is a collection. You know.
So if you want me to wait, that's fine. I have no problem doing that. When I get that opinion back from the lawyer, if it's basically he's like, yeah, go ahead and sign it.
Yeah.
Are you okay with me signing it?
That's fine.
Do they need to take a vote on that, Kathy?
They do.
Yeah.
Do you want to take a vote on that, or do you want to wait on that?
We can make it vote conditional upon legal approval.
I'm okay with that.
Well, I make a motion that we give conditional approval for the chief to sign once legal comes back with a clean copy on the FFR agreement.
A second.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded. Any additional conversation? All right, hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 If they redline the thing, obviously, where,
Yeah.
the vote's no good. But
Can we, can you send us a copy of the Comstar contract? Is that auto renew?
That we are in the auto renew period. There was, I believe, I had a meeting with Comstar and we went over a lot of that. we signed a 3-year contract with a 1 year, and it basically auto renews every year if there is no communication one way or the other. And that was signed a while ago.
yeah, why
I-
not?
Right, then disregard.
I mean, you want to still read it, or
Well, I have in the past, but it's like, if, you know,
it's the same thing?
over and over again, is that okay?
So do you want me to send that or not?
I don't need it if it's already,
Okay.
if it's not changed.
No.
This is the only that's.
All right, short-term disability.
All right. So in my career here in 20 years, we've only changed short-term disability once. So this is the money reimbursed when there's an injury or an illness outside of the work. So this is outside of workers' comp, and they cover 66.67% of the weekly maximum. Currently, we are nowhere because we haven't upped the coverage. We are really nowhere near this. I don't want to say nowhere near, but we're not at 66% for the average employee. So what happens is the member uses their sick time, and that comes out of our pocket. If we use the health trust, that covers them up to 66%. We've always provided the short-term disability. That's why we keep the sick hours low for our employees. We don't allow them to carry a huge bank like a lot of fire departments and a lot of police departments do. We cap them at that 288 because we have the short-term disability. And this is the short-term disability reimburses the fire department back that 66%. So it doesn't come out of our salary line when they're out. Like we had a member out for 3 months last year, and it covered less than 50%. So we had to make up the rest of that 66% with his sick time. So it came out of our salary line. Upping this to the benefits you see here will cost the department around $98.48 a month. I'm sorry, $99.48 a month. I need better glasses, I guess. But I think that's basically one member out for one shift will pay for, not that we do short-term disability a lot, but if we have a member out for three months, we'll more than cover the $99 a month for the whole entire year. But I can't up this without your approval. So I'm just trying to get us back.
When does the long-term kick in?
The long-term kicks in at 6 months.
Okay, after
And-
6 months.
Yeah, and that's paid half by the employee, half by us as the fire department. And I think it's about $4 a week per member for the long-term disability.
So we pay the entire premium?
We pay the entire premium on the short term, and that's always, and we haven't, like I said, we've only increased this once in the past 20 years. We really should be increasing it as we increase salaries and benefits. I would expect the level that Health Trust told us to be at, this will cover us for at least a few years, if not more. We shouldn't have to increase this every year. I don't see this going up next year or the year after. This will probably cover us for a while. It probably won't be 20 years, but, and it's $98 a month. So. I'm sorry, $99.
So we're currently paying $365 a month?
Mm-hmm, correct.
And we go to.
It would go up $99.
Up.
It's an that's the
Increase.
delta.
That's
not
the delta.
total.
That's not the delta. No, right now we pay $365.66 a month, and it'll go up an additional $99.48.
For more than double the coverage
Yeah.
that appears.
So we've been derelict in not looking at this in prior years?
I think. I mean, yeah. I think it was overlooked more than anything else.
Yes.
So your estimate here is $696 based on the balance of the year.
That would be this year. So next year would be around $1,200, just under.
I'll make a motion, we accept and approve proposed option 1 on the Health Trust short-term disability as presented.
All right, I'll second that. Any additional questions or discussion? All right, hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you for bringing that to our attention. All right, any other new business? Greg? Mike, good. All right, review minutes. There's a copy there. You gave it out already.
Wait, yes.
Oh, we've got that.
That's the main thing.
Okay, I make a motion that we approve the minutes of the April 22nd, 2026 meeting as presented. Or if you them and I can agree with it.
I'll second it.
All right, any discussion?
Is this the one I phoned in on?
No, this is the one you missed.
Okay. Oh, jeez.
Did we have the ones from the phone?
You approved those at the last meeting, the April 22nd meeting.
At
you
this
had.
meeting, okay.
All right, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Yeah, minutes of non-public.
There's 2 copies.
We only have 2 copies.
Right, because Commissioner Wright was not there.
Oh, there's an error on here.
You were at that April 22nd. By phone.
I thought I did. But
Yeah, no.
I'd have to go,
That was our last meeting. You were 100% there.
Last meeting, he was there.
Yep.
On
I can look on my phone and say, I know there's one of this. I know I missed one.
Okay, so
Well,
let me see what.
the minutes got approved.
I think you missed March 31st, but you attended the 14th and 22nd by phone, correct? Maybe not.
14th, I definitely did. It's called Tim's Farm. That call
That
was
is
2 hours long, so
Yes.
What day was that?
that was the 14th.
Maybe you did miss the 22nd.
Yeah, I might have missed.
Yeah,
it.
you had
Yeah.
your first physical therapy day.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
Yeah, I was out. Yeah, because it was definitely. Yeah, it was a 5:30 appointment. I wrote until 7.
Okay, so, the roll call,
Oh,
just says Jason.
okay.
I make a motion to accept the minutes of the non-public session from April 22nd, 2026, with the correction that Jason wasn't there.
And I'll second it. I was going to second it. Oh, good.
Yeah, Ed, are you okay with the description? All right, any other, all right, all those in favor say aye. Aye, motion carries. Do we need to seal these? I don't think so.
You can.
It's over, right?
Yeah.
So if it's over,
We don't need to seal.
we don't need to seal it,
Okay.
Yeah, there's been resolved.
as long as the matter is resolved. I'm sorry.
All right. Other business, review and sign manifest we're working on now. Do we have disposition reports?
No,
No disposition reports?
no.
All right, any other business? Any other comments?
I want to thank you for your reports on Facebook. I know they came from you. But I actually liked them, I enjoyed reading them, not that I enjoy accidents or anything like that, but they were very thoughtfully done and I think very informative.
Thank you. We try not to, we balance between when do we release the information and when we don't, and how much, we don't want to put that on every call, but a serious call like that, we like to
Yeah.
put stuff out.
That's good.
Because how many people got in that traffic? It's like, what the heck is going on, right? I mean, that's a pretty substantial.
Hours and
Yeah,
hours.
It's all about communication and being open and transparent about it, so with the little stuff that happens to my next door neighbor, I don't want. But
All right, any other business?
I haven't got here yet.
Yeah, all right, we just have to do the manifest.
all right,
Thank you, Helen.
have a good evening, gentlemen.
You too, Ellen.
Ladies.
Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Tim.
Kevin.
Right.
All right, well, it's just manifest.
Mm-hmm.
On headphone.
Thanks for coming in.
Good to have you back.
Good to be back.
Do you want to adjourn the meeting and shut the recorder off, or do you want to leave that on while you?
I don't, do we need to have it on? We don't think we do, we're just.
Okay, can I make a motion to adjourn?
All right, we have a motion made to adjourn, and seconded by Paul. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries, meeting's adjourned at 6:35 PM.
Just that we have questions.